I'm Donal Ware, host of From the Press Box to Press Row and Box to Row. Thank you for checking out our YouTube page. Tito Jackson was an integral part of the Jackson 5 and had a chance to catch up with Tito. He's, as a matter of fact, had some new music come out. And one of the things that I took away from this particular interview is sometimes we'll say celebrities are like regular people. And you can imagine with being a Jackson, it is amplified in terms of his celebrity status is amplified. Well, one of the things I took away from the interview is that Tito Jackson is actually as much as a regular person as a celebrity can be, if that makes sense. And I think that is conveyed in this interview. So sit back and relax and enjoy this interview with Tito Jackson. Also, don't forget to tell a friend about the Box to Row YouTube page. You can check us out on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Box to Row, BOXTOROW, and on Facebook, BOX2ROW. Enjoy. Let's continue here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Got a special treat for you as a matter of fact. My next guest needs no introduction the world over, as a matter of fact. He's got a new single called One Way Street, part of the Jacksons. He's the one and only Tito Jackson. Joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Tito, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. So I want to start off by talking about this single, One Way Street, which is absolutely phenomenal. And, of course, produced by Greg Pagani, which we'll talk more about that. But how did this come about? Tell me how it came about.
Well, it comes from the Tito Time album, and that's one of the songs from the album. And it's an album I released a couple of years back, and it's just one of the songs from the album that I thought should have special attention.
So why you said a couple of years back? So what led to being able to release it now?
Well, I had other songs I had released prior to this one, such as Get It Baby and We Made It and other songs. So this is like my fourth release from the album.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely hot, and it's really rising on the charts. That's the thing about it. A lot of radio stations are playing. Man, how does that make that? Man, that's got to feel really good. I mean, you've been doing this a long, long time, so that's got to feel, pretty good to have it being played in regular rotation on radio.
It feels really good to me because this is my first project. At the time when the Jackson 5 were doing solo projects, I didn't do one. So this is I'm having my party right now, so it feels good.
Yeah. So why now? Can you sort of speak to that, Tito, in terms of why now? Why is this your time right now?
Yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time with my sons. I had 3 boys, and they were very much a part of my life. I coached Little League baseball for 13 years with them. And also got them into the show business. They played instruments and song as well. And I just spent all my youth time with them trying to do the right thing instead of chasing their solo career, because I already had a pretty active career with the Jackson 5. And to go after an active career with Tito Jackson as solo wouldn't have left the room to raise 3 sons properly, I felt.
Yeah.
So I feel I did the right thing by waiting. It was the correct thing to do, and now I'm here and I'm doing what I wanted to do or need to do. And I should add to that sometime in my life I was doubting should I do a solo project or not. And what convinced me to do it is a few things. One of the things is that my fans wanted it more than anything, but this gentleman, Mr. Charles Barkley, had made a comment on his sports show that I didn't contribute enough to the Jackson 5 or what have you. So that sort of made me get up and make the decision I'm going to do a recording, because sometimes, even with sports teams, it's the guy that you don't notice that does the most sometimes. It's either assist man or whatever, So I was more of a cis man in the Jackson Five, I would say.
Yeah.
I did a lot of the little things, writing music and getting the music together. I was the first member in the family to play an instrument and started learning songs from the '60s on the radio, and had my brother start singing behind me, my guitar playing, and that's how the group started, with just myself, Jackie, and Jermaine. With Michael and Marlon were just little babies, still sucking bottles. So it's very true.
Yeah.
So I look at those types of points in my career that I'm very proud of, and I'm glad that I did what I did, even though I was a hard-headed kid. My father said, "Don't touch the guitar." I did it anyway. You know, but it started a nice, a lovely career for the family, and to share our music across the world.
No question about it. That the voice of the one and only Tito Jackson joins us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. The new single is One Way Street. It is available for digital download. Love what you said about the Little League Baseball. We'll talk more about that. I'm a Little League coach. I coach my sons and so forth as well. Plus, we had 3T on the program maybe a couple of years ago or so as well. So we'll talk more about them as well. But I want to get back to your point about Charles Barkley, because I think a lot of times, and sort of to the point, like, you may have had your role to me was as important as any other role with the Jackson Five, whether it was Michael, Jermaine, et cetera, out front. So your role was as important, I think. But can you go ahead? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all had our individual roles in the group.
Right.
That's where the group was together.
So, so what? Can you kind of expound a little bit? Did you happen to be watching TNT one night when Charles Barkley made those comments, or was that something that someone relayed back to you? And if it was something you were actually watching, I mean, tell us how that really made you feel.
Well, I found it on the internet, actually, on YouTube, and I forget who had mentioned it to me, but I looked at it, and it gave me more motivation more than anything. It didn't. I wasn't upset because Mr. Barkley probably don't know, but I really love the guy as a person on the basketball court. So I'm a fan of his. But it sort of hurt a little bit when I found out that, me being a fan of his as well. But I just said to myself, I would like to put together a nice album, and hopefully Charles will get a chance to hear it, and hopefully he'll like it, and he can change his opinion about me. Because I'm a person that's very quiet. I hardly spoke out for myself when I was a young man, and I'm pretty much like that today. But I enjoy music. I love music, and I do mine on stage, and that's where I am with the music. And I love blues music as well, because I perform with the B.B. King Blues Band as well.
Wow.
So that's, yeah.
Nice. No, so speak about working with Greg Pagani in terms of your music. He's a guy that's done a lot.
Well, he's a great producer. He's just had a number one Urban AC hit with Johnny Gill's "Soul of a Woman," and that song was a nice mix on that. And I said, well, I'm going to see if he would like to remix this song of mine. And he was referred to me through Jesus Garber, promotion man, and he did a wonderful job. And my hat and hands come together for Greg Pagani.
Yeah. Can you sort of talk a little bit? I mean, I know you guys, the Jacksons, have been doing this for so long. Can you kind of talk about what it's like now in terms of I know you guys are on tour. You're set to hit our state in North Carolina, set to hit Atlanta in the next couple of 3 weeks or so. Can you kind of speak to that, and still touring with the Jacksons?
Yeah, the Jacksons always has been a fun thing to do. Us being brothers, I think that's one of the things that's made it work this long. We have our bickers or fights like any other brother or any other singing group has, but when you're brothers, you're brothers, you can't run from that, you have to share the same blood and everything else. we enjoy what we do, and we have the most fun on stage. We've always said being on stage is like being an athlete. We get our workout on stage, and that keeps us young and active and moving. And the brothers are all in good shape. We're still loving what we do, man. We want to do this as long as we can. We'll probably go down like one of the bands like the Rolling Stones who do it until their death, or you have other stars like your B.B. Kings and your Sammy Davises and your Sinatras and so on. And David Bowie, I can name quite a few who did it until the good Lord called them. And we enjoy what we do. We enjoy it. We love it. We love the audience, and thank you to all the millions of fans around the world who supported the career throughout the years. And as long as they want to hear a song, we have songs for them to hear, then we'll sing them.
Yeah. That the voice, of course, of Tito Jackson. The new single is One Way Street as he joins us here on the program. So let me transition a little bit. I want to get back to the Little League baseball. So you must be a big baseball fan then.
Yeah, I'm a baseball fan, but I haven't been able to watch the sport as I used to do back in the earlier days, the 70s and 80s, when Garvey and Los and the Dusty Baker and all those guys were Dodgers. I didn't miss a game. I went to every game when I was raising my sons, and I was, of course, coaching with the Little League at the same time.
Yeah.
But the music business shied me away from it for a while. But I'm starting to get back into the Dodgers a little, and I know that they having a strong team, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. So how was Tito Jackson the Little League coach? Like, how good a coach was Tito Jackson in Little League?
I was a great coach, I thought. Yeah, absolutely. I understood the kids, me being so young at the time as well. And I played Little League baseball for a few years as well. So, I know about the peer pressures and all those things, and making every kid feel he's important to the team. That's what I was good at doing. And I would let the other coaches in the league choose their players, and I'll take what's left. But I always wind up with a team that wind up in first place somehow. Not through the ability of the kids in the beginning, but just the love that this team had for each other, playing together and learning together. We were able to conquer a lot with that.
That is really, really cool. So are you more into the LA sports scene? Like, you're a big Lakers fan, Clippers, that type of thing?
Well, let me tell you about the Clippers, man. I was a Clippers fan when the Clippers were actually Clippers. They were at the bottom of the pole back in San Diego, way back in the day, 25 years ago or more. They couldn't win nothing, And I used to always say to myself, one day the Clippers are going to be the team to talk about, and it's still growing. The Clippers are stronger than they ever have been. They're one of my favorite teams, even more so over the Lakers. I like the Lakers as well, but the Clippers, I adore them. Now they pick up Kawhi, Leonard. They're going to do it well. I think they're going to do very well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. They're very strong, and you're of course an original fan, which is even cooler instead of these sort of people that are sort of Johnny-come-latelys, if you will. A couple of more thoughts.
All right.
Tito Jackson joining us here. So sort of now we got football in LA now. Are you down? Are you with the Chargers and the Rams?
I watched the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I thought they would have that. It was quite interesting seeing them in the playoffs. That game that I think that was the New Orleans or yes, one of the Saints. Yeah, they barely won that game, and a lot of people thought that they shouldn't have had that one.
Right.
But I was disappointed to see them not take it all the way. They just can't handle New England.
Yeah, maybe next year. Lastly, Tito, we appreciate the time. What's you've got the single, the album is had already been out. What's next for you?
Well, I just got the recording with George Benson, and I got another thing coming out next year. And I like to just continue to do what I do. Got some shows with the brothers and some shows with the B.B. King Blues Band. And, of course, I'll be having more on coming in the near future. And that's what it's about. You know, it's the 50th anniversary for the Jacksons this year, you know, so that's going to keep me quite active. You know, we're looking to do some things with television and other marketing situations. So it's going to be a great year.
Awesome. Check out the new single. It is called One Way Street. It is by Tito Jackson. It is off the album. It is available for digital download. Tito Jackson joining us here on From the Press Box to Press Row. Tito, we appreciate the time. Continued success in all you do.
Thank you very much. And let me mention one song on that album that I wrote especially for sports teams.
Sure.
It's called We Made It.
We Made It, okay.
Check that track out because it fits just about every occasion of sports.
No, cool. What the inspiration behind that? Is there a certain inspiration behind that?
Yeah, it was everything. You know, my album mainly, you know, pushing and working hard and getting it done. You know, I didn't have a lot of supporters in the beginning. But now the things are going quite well for me. You know, I have the arsenal and tools I need to succeed.
Yeah, and somehow we got to get you together with Charles Barkley, right?
Oh, I would love to meet Mr. Barkley and just talk to him and just to say, hey, as a fan, first of all, you know, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of that because I understand everybody has an opinion and everybody's has the right to their opinion. So I just have to roll with it. That's his opinion. Let it be.
Yeah, but I think you'll have a different opinion now if he at least listens to the single.
Well, he needs to listen to my album.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. Very good, Tito. We appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye
okay.
now.
All right. You got it. Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye
okay.
now.
Bye-bye. And don't forget to take us everywhere you go. Visit our podcast page on our website at BOXTOROW.com.